All right, welcome to the second review of the evening. Up this time is The Merry Fairy. The Merry Fairy is a scrapbook journal simulator. Really, does the world need these?
Not in
Okay,
the year of 2026, my good man, but we'll be getting into that.
right. Set in a fairy tale environment. Discover your inner magic by journaling and decorating in Fairy's Enchanted Cottage. Always peaceful, safe, and abundant. Choose the weather, light some candles, put on some fairy music, and let your creativity flow. Right, so this game was assigned to Petty for review, so over to him for the detail.
Game is doing a god tier amount of heavy lifting here. This is a. I made the joke before we started that this is probably something that would have been bundled in with your Compaq or your Packard Bell in the 90s. It's an activity
I
center,
could,
but without many activities.
yeah, I could see it. This looks like it should be part of the Living Book series.
Very much so.
So,
But yeah, you just kind of fumble around with things and you can get little bits of things to scrapbook, and you can also upload your own pictures. I'm not doing that. You can summon little fairy things to talk to, and then um by default this game has an awful font. The fairy's handwriting, which is um let's call it not friendly to anyone with eyes. Yeah, at least you can change it, which is nice. Um and yeah, you just kind of click on stuff and get decorations. And then you can open up your little scrapbook and you can put things on the scrapbook. Um and usually back in the day they would have they would have this would have connected to your printer, and then you just print it out, but not a lot of computers have printers in the year of 2026. So
mm,
instead, how to save it is it saves it as an HTML document, and then you can open that in your web browser, and then you can print it if you so have, or just email that, or send it to it via whatever messaging client you want.
That sounds about 2 or 3 steps more complicated than it needs to be.
Also, for anyone playing at home, the OPSEC training in my brain is screaming, never open a random HTML document you get sent under any circumstance. Cause yeah, no, that's bad. But yeah, you can write if you want. You can move pictures around, rotate, flip, transpose. All the things you could have done in Corel Works back in the mid 90s to early 2000s. You can add I mentioned you can add your own pictures to this. So I mean, it's it's cool to an extent. You get multiple pages. There is an undo button. Like my sister, 20 years ago would have found this interesting. Um, that's about where that stops. I don't even think my niece would be interested in something like this, nowadays. But it's like, I mean, this is
Yeah, I
very
mean,
much. Mhm.
if you really want to, you could just keep your own journal and scrapbook.
I mean, that's kind of the thing. Finding scrapbooking stuff is getting expensive now.
That is a point.
Because, like, my mom used to scrapbook, and, like, looking at the price of some
Yeah, that's
even
why you only need like one digital ribbon and you can reuse it on every page.
right, that's kind of that would be most of the appeal if you're someone who likes to scrapbook but can't afford to do it anymore. Because this doesn't need much power to run. And, like,
Mm.
there's also the music thing. I have it muted because I don't know if any of this is copyrighted. But yeah, it has, like, built-in music tracks. There's, like, just some peaceful ambient sounds in the back. Some of the stuff make noise when you click on it. So, like, it's very younger kid coded. But the kid also needs to be old enough to read, because you still need to be able to, read what's going on here to really get much out of it. So it's definitely in that weird middle ground thing where the younger audience who would be interested like this starts to fall off closer to the age of literacy, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Because, like, yeah, a 3-year-old would just have fun, like, poking at the things and making them do stuff, but they're not really all that literate. So, like, the little messages from the other fairy folks, they would need a parent to read to them. And I am not adept enough in literature to see if these make for good, children's story time stuff, or if it's just spat out fluff. There is some pop-in issues in the background. There definitely is some problems with the game. Like, I it's definitely not the worst thing I've ever played, but at the same time, I'm also nowhere near the demographic for this. I am a man in his nearing mid-30s, so I am definitely not meant for this. Um, but yeah, like, I wish there was just an option to just save these as a JPEG or a PNG instead of them trying to put it out as an HTML document. Like, I get that's for compatibility's sake, and they can't put it as a PDF because they have to pay Adobe a shit ton of money. But yeah. Do you guys have any questions or comments, or
Not really.
Adam, what are we looking at price wise?
Yeah, uploading a picture to this game just for this is
I mean,
not.
if I had any like pictures on hand of like Luna or whatever, that would be kind of cute, but they're all
Yeah,
cloud stored because
and also the fact if they make it friggin' an HTML, that's not ideal.
yeah. Because again, the OPSEC in me is currently screaming.
Yeah. Anyway, um, so this game normally goes for $10, but hang on. But I'm going to note that currently it's in a deep, deep discount. It's going for $1, 90% off.
that
I'm
should
not
be
sure if that's the regular sale price.
that should be its permanent price, honestly. This is something that you would have gotten free with your computer purchase. If
Gotta admit,
any
it's worth the reaction you gave.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. if you're looking at this post Steam sale and it's for $10, just don't even. If you have a younger kid who's into like fairies and stuff like that, and they're not really into the actual like video game things, they would rather like futz around with activity book, and you don't want to buy them a whole bunch of scrapbooking supplies. Sure, cool. You can let them fumble around with this if you get it for $1. But that's about it. $1 is the absolute top I would personally go on this. Like, this
Right.
game has the 99-cent levels of jank. I'm still having poppin' in the background. Sometimes like the models in the background area, they don't pop back in. They just disappear. So it's like, and there's still some weird clipping. Like, it doesn't have the fit and finish of something that's asking for $10, especially on the indie scene. 10-15 is typically your quote unquote, I guess nowadays your mid range. It's feature complete, everything. It's fit, finish, stuff like that. This one is lacking that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really comment on the music though, because this could be. I guess if they at least sort out the like background and stuff like that to fix some of the pop in, and like the music is, not copyrighted, it could be an interesting background thing for like a streamer. Like, I know Barry sometimes has like background toys like these that just are just on her stream if she's like actually working with something. She'll have something like this just on for the rest of the audience to look at or listen to. But outside of either a kid or someone who's just like having this in the background on a stream, but not really actively engaging with it, I don't see your purchase, group. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Do you guys have anything else?
Not
No, I think I'm
really.
good.
All right
Alrighty
then.
then.
So that'll about do it for the Mary Fairy.
Yep.
Be sure to tune in after the break as the Galax will be reviewing Masoke,